Hello you guys and welcome to my channel. I'm so excited to have you here. So today we are going to be doing my top MLM fails, number 17, I think it is. So if you want to actually send me MLM fails personally, you can actually do that via Google Drive. So I will have in the description down below exactly how you can send or share with me MLM fails that you want me to react to. I have found that over time my email and my DMs get really crowded and sometimes I miss the MLM fails that you guys want me to react to. So I feel like Google Drive and sharing it with me that way is much easier for me to be able to collect it because it all goes in one folder. So with that being said, let's get into it. Today I've got my Canada Dry and my water. I'm feeling very anxious today because of things going on like in my personal life. I don't give you guys that vibe, but feeling anxious, I've been needing this because my stomach is all messed up. So with that being said, though, thought I'd just let you guys know. Let's get right into it. I also got most of these MLM fails sent to me personally. Like people let me know that this is what they wanted me to react to. So the first one is going to be of a Monat rep. And I believe this one is the one I got off of Detective Lovey's Instagram. So I will make sure to source anyone where I got the MLM fails from unless it was sent to me. Okay, so before reacting to this video, I kind of need to give you a little bit of a backstory for everyone to understand what's going on in this video. It is 4 minutes worth of Instagram stories. So in this video, a top Monat rep, I'm meaning tippity top, someone who makes hundreds of thousands of dollars in this MLM, she is going to be using someone else who has her own online course and does Amazon storefronts as a way to promote her MLM. So let's call this person Becky. So Becky is going to be using another business owner that is successful, another business owner that actually does TikTok, and she's going to reshare another actual business owner's TikTok to essentially promote her MLM and say, well, look at this person. See, that replicates to my MLM. So you could do it here too. So that's kind of like what's going on if you're curious, because it will be confusing to listen to that TikTok and then see this person immediately talking afterwards. But we all know that Amazon storefronts and actual businesses are not the same as what happens in multi-level marketing company. So it's just interesting how this individual is going to use that person.
I really didn't want it to have to come to this, you guys. I really didn't. But the amount of people who don't think that this number is possible is mind-blowing. So I gotta show you. Here is the behind the scenes of my online course creation platform on Teachable, and I'm gonna refresh it a couple times so you guys know that I'm not making this shit up. Okay, there you go. And the reason that I like to share this is because, you guys, the mind is weird. When it only thinks that a certain number is possible, that's what it is programmed to hit. So in terms of money and finances, this is totally true. If you never see examples of people who are doing what they love to do and making a lot of money doing it, you might not ever know that that's also possible for you. And that's nobody's fault. But talking about money and finances is something that is still considered to be so taboo in our culture. And I genuinely think that the more honest and open people can be about this, the more money we are all going to make. And when good people make more money, we can do more good.
The sooner you stop thinking that 6 figures a month does not happen to people, the sooner you will believe that it is possible for you too. The FTC does not allow me to disclose my income or anyone in direct sales to disclose income without an income disclosure statement. And even with that statement,
Okay, so I'm going to pause it here because what she's about to say is wild. But in general, she says, the FTC does not allow us to disclose income without a statement. So the reason that the FTC pretty much does this is because they don't want people misleading or lying to new reps. They are pretty much protecting consumers and trying to help consumers not be lied to or fed false information on income. And clearly with MLMs, we see it all of the time. We see MLM reps make income claims, even if they're making money at the top of the pyramid or whatever, they are still going to claim that you can do it too, that you can make $1,000 a month within your first couple months. That's an income claim because it's not the average of what's actually happening. That's why the FTC actually, if you do make a post about your income, you're supposed to put like an income statement at the bottom. And every MLM has a different type of statement that you write at the bottom of your post or whatever it may be. And normally for this MLM, you'll pretty much say like, hey, my numbers are not the average. This is the average. So Monat has a disclosure, if you want to talk about your income, that you can put that at the bottom to disclose to people that what you are doing is not the average. And the average person is actually only making $800 a year. So the reason the FTC does that is because you should be truthful. You should be truthful with people on social media, and you should be telling them like, hey, I do make, say, $1 million a year, but the average person only makes 800. So that is the amount of money that the average person in this MLM is making, because that would be the most truthful thing to do. But in MLMs, you're not taught that. You want to convince everybody to join, and you want to convince everybody that they have the odds to make $1 million or $100,000 or even a livable wage. In general, they do that so that new people know the truth about the opportunity that's actually being sold to them. That's why you can't make income claims, because too many people do it. And so the FTC is like, okay, you're not allowed to do that. You need to make a statement with the average earnings that people in your MLM make, or make a statement showing that the average person doesn't make this amount. That's just the correct thing to do for consumers versus lying to them that everyone has the potential to make a livable wage when that's not the truth about MLMs.
Which is truly irrelevant because it counts everyone, not just those working. Like, they make you throw out this irrelevant number that counts half of the people who weren't even active. Like, not that they were just like even buying for a discount, like nothing, zero, zilch, factors into the average. But I'm still not allowed to share my income per the FTC, which is why you guys don't see it, which is why it almost seems like a trick from our end that we can talk about it, but we can't be specific. And I think that it's so stupid, because she is so right. The more we can have open conversations about the possibility for income, hands are tied completely. And that's a shame, because I think that if people really knew, really truly could know the possibility for income for you in this business compared to influencer sales, which is like an average of 1% to 3% commission, which is another conversation for another day.
So this is the problem. You said that if people could know the truth about how much you could actually make, that is the truth. The truth is what the FTC is making MLMs do. The truth is that the average person makes set amount of dollars. Again, for Monat, it's about $870, I believe, is the number the average Monat rep makes in a year. So let's go back to where she said the number for the income disclosure is irrelevant because it counts everyone. Like, they make you throw out this irrelevant number that counts half the people who weren't even active. So if you actually do go to Monat's income disclosure statement, you will see at the top that it says the average annual income for all U.S. market partners at all ranks, which includes active and inactive market partners, in 2020 was $876. 46% of U.S. market partners were not active in 2020, therefore did not earn any commissions. An active market partner is a market partner who earned any amount of commissions in 2020. So that leads me to the question of, how do you know that over half of the people were not trying to work the MLM or intended on working the MLM, but it didn't work? Because as we see, Monat described inactive reps as people who did not make commissions. Just because that 46% of people were inactive doesn't mean that every single person in that 46% didn't try and sell a product. Now, I do agree and believe that some people join an MLM because they're told that they could get like a discount on the sales or whatever it may be. But this number, I guarantee you, 46% of people didn't do that. 46% of people who join probably didn't join to like just buy your product. Some of those probably did join, or some of those people probably did join with the hopes to actually make commissions and make money in that MLM, but they probably were just never able to sell anything. But again, we don't know that. We don't actually know the percentage out of that 46%. We don't know who actually tried to work and who didn't, or like who tried to make the MLM work, who tried to sell products versus the people who never tried in the first place. So this is just another way for MLM reps to take statistics and facts and twist it to mislead individuals. Because this is probably something she tells her downline. If her downline's talking to her and she's saying this on social media, she's probably telling this to her downline. So if we have people in her downline that won't even look at their income disclosure statement because to them it's like false numbers that are irrelevant and they're fake, that's what they're going to promote on their social medias. And that's how we get a line of people in MLMs that aren't giving the full truth, and to them they think that they are. Those MLM reps in her downline are going to think that they're telling the truth because they're listening listening to their upline that's making hundreds of thousands of dollars. And they may not be doing their actual research themselves to see what these numbers mean, why they mean that. They're probably just listening to what this person is misleading them into thinking, which is very common in MLMs. It is how MLMs work and maneuver is CEOs, the company, tells people things, and then the high up reps that get to the top tell everyone at the middle and bottom, blank, 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 and then everyone in the downline ends up doing that or believing that. So I really feel like this could be another way for this individual to take stats, facts, twist it to mislead people and then convince her downlines of the same thing. And they probably don't believe that income disclosure statements are truthful. And they probably don't even look at income disclosure statements as something that is true or that they should even be sharing with people because it looks fake or it's irrelevant, like she's saying to people on social media. And what's also interesting about income disclosure statements is the MLM could actually separate those numbers. So for example, if they made a income disclosure statement, they could have separated active rep percentages to inactive reps, like reps that never made a commissions, but they didn't do that. I've seen other MLMs do that where the MLM actually separates percentage of active reps versus percentage of inactive reps. And then they break down the numbers that way because they want to show the difference between people who never make commissions versus those who did. So this MLM has the opportunity to do that. They just don't. So how do we know that 46% of people that joined in 2020 just joined for the discount? We don't know that. All we know is the statistic they give us and that none of those people made any money. They didn't make not one commissions while in their MLM. That's all we know. So you can't just I guess you can, but it isn't right to just throw that out and be like, well, 46% of people, it's irrelevant because they didn't join to work the business. We don't know that. They could have just made no money. So again, I see both sides of some of those 46% probably joined just for the discount, but we don't know how many joined just for the discount versus how many reps joined, they tried, and then they never made a commission. I would be curious what you guys think about that because I haven't really seen many people talk about it or this be brought up a lot. She then said if they compared average influencer marketer sales, which is an average of 1 to 3% of commissions, that's worse off than her MLM. So you guys know how I feel about this. I feel like most influencers make their money a couple of ways. It could be one from brand deals where they're getting a fixed rate just to talk about the product. Two, they could be getting it from places like YouTube AdSense or Creator Fund, which everything's based on views, not that they have to recruit people. They also have affiliate links. If they like a product, they could link it, which that's where she's talking about that percentage. So when we talk about affiliate marketing, yes, most of the time with affiliate marketing, you do make a small percentage with these companies. I know I do Amazon links, and for that, I make a very, very small commissions off of it, but that's never the money that I will depend on or anything like that. That's just a side thing. If people like the products I talk about or they like the products I like, they can get it, and I could get 1% commissions, which to me, that doesn't bother me because of those other things like YouTube AdSense, which it's based on views. It's not based on recruiting people. And then brand deals, you can get a fixed rate versus that percentage. So they'll always try and sell that well, you can make more commissions here, or you can have a higher percent for your commissions in this MLM. Well, the MLM is not paying you to talk about the product. They're only paying you their 20% commissions when you sell that product. For actual influencers or content creators, you're going to get paid a fixed rate, meaning that you can get paid depending on your following and your engagement rate, hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars for some people who are huge influencers. They get paid that just for talking about a product one time. So there's a huge difference between getting paid to talk about a product versus the commissions that people may earn doing affiliate marketing. I will also say a lot of people have made a really good living off of affiliate marketing and have done really well with it. I know I've seen another YouTuber who has 400,000 subs talk about this, where her links, just by linking her favorite Amazon stuff and the products she uses, makes thousands of dollars a month. So you just never know with Amazon links and stuff. If you just talk about products you like, people can buy them. But I know that most content creators don't use that as their main source of income because it isn't really dependable. So again, the main difference between an influencer, content creator, and MLM reps is you get paid just to talk about the product. You can also get fixed rates over percentages for commissions like MLM reps do. They also don't have to convince other people to do what they do. They don't have to convince people to sign up under them so that they can make money off them. They don't have to convince people that they live this luxury lifestyle and that they should do it too. They don't have to convince people to tie themselves to one company and have their upline make most of the profit off of them. And they don't need the failure of others for themselves to succeed. They don't need others to fail to lift themselves up. And I feel like that's the big difference between MLMs and just content creation. But again, I've done a million videos on this, so you can definitely go check out my videos on influencers and content creators versus MLM. So I won't go more into that.
We could be honest and transparent. That's when we could really start having the conversation about why direct sales is so life-changing. It's just a shame. So dumb. No one wants to believe, though, that girl is bringing in over $300K a month in sales because it sounds so unbelievable, and you may have never seen someone bring in that kind of income. And I'm glad that she's putting it out there because it sounds unbelievable, but it is not. It's not. Like, how incredible. What I'm going to say is I don't play games, and I don't waste my own time, and I don't waste anyone else's time. Those are 3 things I refuse to do. So if I am now 5 years into this business, Monat, talking about it just as passionately now as I was 5 years ago, it's the real freaking deal. That's it.
Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about is where she said a lot of people don't believe you can make that much in sales. So again, I do believe that people can make that much in sales. I do believe this individual who has her own business where she teaches people how to start their own courses or has courses teaching people about business. I believe that she can make that much money. A bunch of people do that and make that much money. She also pours everything into that. So she's making that money herself. This person is putting her own efforts and her own time, and that time and effort she's putting in equals the amount of money she is making. She is not depending on the recruitment of others to build her up in the ranks or to build her up to get bonuses to qualify for. She's doing it herself, and that's a business owner. It was just interesting that she used this as a way to try and get people to like join. It would have made sense if she tried to use another MLM rep to talk about it, but we know that MLM reps truly believe that they're business owners and they're taught by the MLMs that they're business owners. So it makes sense why she would use an actual business owner's story to try and convince people to join her. But the truth is, it's not the reality. Like what she's doing, Becky, that's what I've been calling her. What Becky's doing is not the reality of what this business owner is doing with her courses, where she is making $300,000 in sales. So it's very different. So now we're going to move on to the MLM Zaya. This was actually sent to me and it's very interesting and something I have never heard about before with MLMs. So buckle up and let's listen to what she has to say.
After much thought and feedback and talking it through, I've decided to finally roll out my ambassador program for my Zaya business. And it's perfect for those of you who love your Zaya, but aren't necessarily ready to cross the bridge of running your own Zaya business. So it allows you to reap the rep discount. Is that the right word? Reap? Whatever. Get the rep discount, also earn party rewards without constantly having to host parties. And again, without nurturing a VIP page or just doing all of the other work that a rep does. I do the follow-up still. I do all the back end work, but you get to just share your love of Zaya and selfies and whatnot and tag me throughout the month. And that's it. So I get to welcome these 3 beautiful ladies to my ambassador team. If that is something that sounds like it is up your alley, I do have 3 spots open in February. Just let me know and we'll get you all set up.
Okay, so this is very interesting to me that she said that she's decided or claimed that she's opening up her own ambassador program. So the term ambassador is definitely a widely used term on social media now. It's also used kind of like how affiliate is used. So I know MLMs have now taken that term also to try and make their stuff look more legitimate or try to make it look similar to what actual like affiliate marketing or ambassador type of programs would look like. The thing is, Zaya doesn't call it this. I had to do so much research on this and watch so many YouTube videos because I was like, I have to find it. I have to find where Zaya talks about having an ambassador program. And I found out that Zaya doesn't actually do this. What Zaya does is they do allow for reps to make personalized links for other people. They do this so that people could do online parties. So if you guys know what parties are, it literally goes all the way back to like Avon and Mary Kay, where back then they would do in-house parties. I mean, I think some people still do in-house parties, but you would do in-house parties to where you would invite like your friends and family over, and then you would host a party for somebody else. So say my friend Sarah is a Mary Kay rep, and I say, oh, I'll host a party for you. Like, I'll invite all of my people so that I can get you more customers. And she's like, okay, if you actually get me to sell $600 worth of product, you will get this as a reward. So that's kind of what Zaya does. They allow for reps to make these personalized links for online parties. So for example, the online parties I see Zaya reps doing are mostly done online. So you would normally actually make like a Facebook page, and you would host a certain amount of days where you invite your friends and family to buy the products under the link that the Zaya rep made for you. Then if people actually buy through that Zaya link that is made for the party, you will normally get like a perk. For example, you'll get like a discount on the products, or you'll get a credit. So it'll be like you as the friend of the rep helped the rep sell $1,000 worth of products. So now you're going to get this benefit of having like a discounted product or getting like a credit to buy something. So by my knowledge, they're supposed to be using these personalized links to host parties. Like their friends and stuff are supposed to be hosting parties, or people on social media or whatever are supposed to be hosting parties for them where they could use this link. But instead, this person, and I really wish I knew where she got this from or if she came up with it on her own. Instead, this person is utilizing these personalized links that Zaya allows you to make to actually make her own ambassador program. So she'll get you the personalized link like anybody else can get with Zaya. But what she's actually making people do, I'll try and pull up this graphic for you guys that she made. So on top of this individual, let's call her Sarah. So on top of Sarah giving people a party link, she's also requiring them to do a verbal contract that they will be required to do a certain amount of post about Zaya while linking her, like adding her on social media. So this kind of reminds me of what like a actual brand deal would be. Like if you work with a brand, it's never a verbal contract. It shouldn't be. You should actually do a physical contract. And within that contract, normally with a certain brand, you will agree to a certain amount of posts or uploads, or kind of how you as the creator, like the content creator, are going to promote the company in your video or in your post. You then sign that contract for the brand, or you sign that contract with the brand, and then you end up getting a flat fee for doing that, for adhering to the actual brand deal that you guys signed, which means you may need to post a video or whatever it is. So I found it interesting that she's using this tactic. Like she literally said, if I can zoom into this, she said that her requirements are a 30-day contract, a verbal contract. And within that, you have to do 8 posts on Instagram or social media tagging this Zaya rep, which I found just like wild that this person came up with this concept. And then with that, clearly the perks are that you'll get discounted products and stuff like that, because that's what the link is supposed to be used for with the person, like with the friend. That link is supposed to be used for a party where the host, your friend, can get benefits off of helping you sell the product. But it was very interesting that this is a tactic that I'm finding, or that it clearly is being sent to me, is that not only are Zaya reps doing like these parties with their friends, they're utilizing this in order to do verbal contracts with people to make it look like it's an actual ambassador program where people are required to post 8 posts tagging this person, but not getting any compensation for it. They're just posting for them or posting for this person and doing a verbal contract with the hopes that like if people buy, they'll get discounts on the products. Have y'all seen this? I don't know if other people have done this, but this is the first time I have heard of this idea or like this happening. So I wanted to talk about it because clearly we need to bring light to this so that people see it, because a lot of people who aren't very familiar with how ambassador programs work, or if they're not familiar with affiliate links and brand deals, they may sign up with this and think that it's a good thing or it's a good idea or it's a good deal because they'll be getting like these discounts. But in general, if you're going to be doing posts and stuff like that for somebody, for a brand, technically, if for Zaya, to get people to buy Zaya, you should be compensated for that. Those smaller creators may be more likely to do something like this because they see it as a good opportunity, but in my opinion, really isn't. So I just found this really interesting. Let me know if you guys have seen this before. So now let's move on to the next one. Okay, you guys, so it is now the following day. Yeah, the following day. I'm still wearing the same outfit, but I don't care. My actual camera overheated 3 times yesterday. It kept overheating because I had the heat on in the house. And after that, I had to go to a job interview. And then I came home and it was like 7 p.m. So here we are trying to come back into this video and finish it up. So the next video that we are going to react to is one that I got from the Small Anti-MLM Angels page. I will link some videos down below for individuals who called this person out for the disgusting things that she said. But let's just see what she had to say about who us anti-MLM MLM people are and what it is that we do and why apparently we don't like women in network marketing.
I just finished cleaning my whole house and I feel so good. But I have a theory I want to share with you. Here she goes again. Free thinking crazy. I have a theory about the anti-MLMers. My theory is that you're paid. My theory is that you don't like that more than 80% of female millionaires are in the network marketing industry. You don't like that we can stay home with our babies and make $1 million. You don't like that we can work from anywhere. You don't like that we get fully earned, completely paid for trips. You don't like that we get fully earned, completely paid for cars. You don't like that we don't have to go to work, put our kids in school, submit to the state.
So then in like words that she typed on the screen, she goes, my goal is to have every person I love to join network marketing and become a completely free millionaire. Okay. She then said, I don't think you're a burned ex-MLMer who didn't succeed. I think it's bigger than that. And then finally, she said, you want us to have to go to work, our children educated and controlled by the government, have our time and income determined by the government, and have our lives ruled by the government because we're truly free in this industry. So I think that when she said that we get paid, I think what she meant is that we're getting paid by like the government, and that the government is paying us to talk about this, and that the government has like this ulterior motive where they just like picked us out and they were like, yep, you guys, I want you guys to talk about MLMs and we're going to pay you like hundreds of thousands of dollars. Well, I'm sorry to break it to you, but that is not happening. And then two, not everyone is also a burned ex-MLMer. A lot of people who are anti-MLM never joined an MLM in the first place. They have just seen how horrific this model is and this business model is and how many people it has hurt. They have watched their loved ones go through it. You also have people who have been in MLMs but actually got to the top. There are many people who are anti-MLM creators and non-creators who have been in an MLM who have gotten to the top 1% believing the lie that they were sold, and then once they seen the truth, they left and became anti-MLM. You also have people that, yes, did join an MLM, didn't make it to the top because 99% of people don't make it to the top, and then they decide to leave the MLM and talk about the business model. And there's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't mean they're a burned ex-MLMer. They just realized the truth, seen the truth, and then got out of their MLM, which is not an easy thing to do anyways. So all of that, in my opinion, is false. But let's go over this. She says, you're paid. No, we're not. Not by the government. The government does not pay me at all. They did not just pick me out and be like, yeah, Deanna, I want you to talk about MLMs. No, I just decided one day to upload a video on my channel talking about my experience to share with my friends and family and the people that I knew. And I ended up just enjoying researching MLMs and making a bunch of videos out of it. She then said, you don't like that more than 80% of female millionaires are in network marketing. That statistic is false. There is no such thing as 80% of millionaires in the world are in network marketing, or female millionaires are in network marketing. So no, this isn't true. Or they could show me the statistic and the study that this was actually done from, but they wouldn't be able to. The statistic isn't real. She then said, you don't like that we stay home with our babies and earn $1 million. You don't like that we can work from anywhere. I actually would be very happy for anyone that wants to be a stay-at-home parent and be with their babies. And especially if they make $1 million, that's freaking amazing. I would congratulate that person and be very happy for that person because that would be amazing. The problem is let's go through this. Based on your MLM's income disclosure statement, only 0.01% of people have the potential to possibly earn that much money in the MLM that you're in. If we go further than that, based on the FTC, they state that most people who join legitimate MLMs make little or no money. Some of them lose money. In some cases, people believe they've joined a legitimate MLM, but it turns out to be an illegal pyramid scheme that steals everything they invest and leaves them deeply into debt. So even the FTC knows that most people who join legitimate MLMs make little or no money. And then to go even further than that, based on the AARP study, 74% of people in MLM stated they made no money or they lost money. To go further than that, though, the AARP study states that the final 27% of people, after the 74% of people in MLMs that made no money and lost money, 53% of those people made under $5,000, while only less than 1% made $100K. So no, it is not true that most people who join MLMs are going to make $1 million. It's not true that most of them are going to be able to stay home with their babies and make $1 million. It's not true that they're just going to be able to work from anywhere. It's just not the truth. When we look at statistics, what the FTC says, the AARP, we look at the study of the John M. Taylor study, where he says that over 99% of people didn't make money. When we look at your own income disclosure statement that states the average annual income for market partners was $876. So the average that people are earning in your MLM is $86, not $1 million. And then lastly, she said that you don't like that we earn completely paid for trips and completely paid for cars. I've already done videos on this with Monat. So the cars are not free. The trips are not free at all. For the cars, you actually get a monthly bonus that can go towards your car payment. And then you actually have to requalify that every single month. So every single month you have to go through a qualification period for you to continue to get this bonus. And if you drop your rank or anything like that and you don't keep qualifying every month, they won't give you the bonus for the car, meaning that you have to pay your car payment yourself. With the trips, not only are the trips not 100% free, you actually have to qualify for the tier to actually be able to get everything. And I believe the highest tier has your flight paid for, you get to bring somebody with you, like a spouse, friend, whatever, and then you actually get your hotel paid for, and I think you get some cash you can spend, but still not everything is paid for. If you want to do excursions or whatever you want to do on that trip is not paid for. Not all of your meals are paid for or anything like that. So they're not 100% free. Another thing that people always bring up to me, because I always forget to talk about it in my videos, is that the trips are also taxable. So at the beginning of the year, when you get your taxes from your MLM, you actually have to pay taxes on the trip you go on. So the money that the MLM is spending on that flight of yours and the hotel, you're paying the tax on when it comes to tax season. So it's not free. The trips aren't free. The cars aren't free. It isn't free. That's just false. So yeah, what do you guys think about this? It's interesting. And people who are watching this, a lot of you are probably anti-MLM. So are you getting paid by the government? Now let's look at the next video. I actually got this from Detective Lovey. Detective Lovey is always posting really good stuff to talk about, or like really good things that we can have conversations on. So I thought that this one was interesting and I thought we could talk about it.
So I'm sitting here and I'm eating soup from last night. I mean, we reheated it, but anyways, I just started watching those videos and I started thinking about how many people just like give up. Like I watched my son do like a trick, try to do a trick. I don't even know how many times, uncountable times, probably 100 times, like literally no joke. Okay. And he would never, ever, ever, ever land it if he didn't try that many times to do it. And it's like, I feel like so many times in the business that I'm in, and this is for all of you market partners who are listening and you're giving up or you're half-assing it, you quit too soon. Like you don't go hard enough. If I had $1 for every single time that someone said, yeah, it just didn't work for me, you guys, my bank account would be double, okay? But for real, like, quit giving up. Like, what other option do you have? Like, what do you have to lose? Like, you never do it and you give up, or you keep going and you eventually get it. I can't understand that mentality. I can't understand or relate the give up mentality at all. Like, I just can't do it, because it ultimately boils down to a decision. Like, you make a decision. You made a decision to quit. You made a decision that this business didn't work for you. You made a decision to do that. And it's like, that really sucks, because every single person can be super successful. Let's be real. Majority of people who quit this business do it either in the first week or the first month. They do. Majority of them. Okay? And they're like, oh, well, no one wanted to buy it from me, or no one wanted to join me. And it's like, well, you didn't talk to enough people then. Okay? because I'm telling you that people want it and they need it, the product and the opportunity. And it's not as hard as people make it out to be. Like, it's really simple, guys. It's shampoo, okay? But what's hard is getting out of your comfort zone. And people aren't willing to do that. And they're like, you know what? I'll just give up. I'll just throw in the towel. Can't relate.
So she said that if she had $1 for every time someone said that MLMs didn't work for them, her bank account would be double. I actually think that statement says a lot. I think that so many people put so much effort and so much time and years. I'm saying a lot of people put years into multi-level marketing companies, and then they decide after that time that they have been in that they may have lost money, they may have lost friends, they may have lost relationships, they may have lost endless time on something that isn't giving them anything in return. If someone's been in an MLM for years and they see the truth, they see that most people aren't making an income, they see that it's literally this hamster wheel that never ever ends, especially when it comes to recruitment and maintaining ranks and trying to get your next rank and everything that just goes into MLMs in general, they may realize that, yeah, this is not for me and it's not for anybody else that I have recruited into this MLM now that I see how it's really treating people. And I definitely feel like people feel that way once they research MLMs. Like, they will research MLMs and a light bulb will go off and they will be like, holy shit, I now see what I haven't seen this whole time. Like, I've just been listening to an upline, or I've just been listening to this company that says that all of us can make money. And in return, that's why I have been recruiting people, because I do believe and thought that, or I did believe and thought that all of us could make money doing this. And then once they realize and they leave, then they're called someone who didn't work hard enough. So I feel like there is nothing wrong with someone saying that it didn't work for them, because it doesn't work for most people that are in MLMs, and it's not going to work for most people. Most people are going to realize that they were sold a lie and they just don't want to do that. They just don't want to rope other people into that, and they're realizing that it's no longer serving them. And there's nothing wrong with leaving an MLM once you realize that. The next thing she said that a lot of top reps say, and I think that by top reps saying this, it actually makes people stay in longer, like people that are in their downline, they say, oh, well, if you would have just kept going, you would eventually get it. So I can't understand or relate to the mentality of giving up. This is the problem with the reps that are earning like 6 figures and above, is that they will continue to convince the people under them that as long as you keep trying, you'll get there. Well, what about the millions of people who have tried, or the millions of people who have spent countless hours on this MLM, have spent countless years on this MLM, and they never get there? So it's not reality that if you just keep going, you're going to make it to the top of an MLM. That's just not the reality of what's actually happening. And by these reps saying this is why the downlines feel that the longer they stay in, they will make it, and that everyone can make it, is because they're taught this type of mentality that if you just continue, everyone will be able to get there. But again, that's not reality, and that's not what's happening in multi-level marketing companies. And I will say this is definitely something that I seen in my MLM and something that I believed. Like, I actually believed this because I was always told this by my upline, like, if you just keep going, you will get there. And the person, and I could remember this live stream like nothing before, but my upline did a live stream where she said that. She was like, you know, the people who make it are the people who don't quit. And that phrase sat with me for years. It sat with me for so long. Every time I felt down, or every time that I felt like it wasn't working, or I wasn't, you know, getting where I wanted to be, that's what I would think of. And I'm like, you know, but if I just keep going, I will get there. And then I finally freaking realized after doing research that is not reality, and then I probably was just going to spend more and more years losing money. I believed it too. So I know that other people will in other MLMs. She then talked about how the majority of people quit within their first week or month being in an MLM. And this is something that I have thought about for a while, that, and again, this is just a theory of mine, that if that's true, right? And again, I'm not sure if this is true. I would be curious if there's a study on this, like how much time people do spend in MLMs, but I feel like this could be possible if people do leave within their first week or month. But the reason why they leave is because they see the reality of what it is that they have to do. So I feel like most of the time on social media, people present that, oh, this luxury lifestyle, or they present this amazing community, and they don't really present the truth about what what people actually have to do in the MLM. So if people are watching you on social media and they're seeing this luxury lifestyle and you going on trips and all of this amazing things and you're staying home with your kids and just all of that, they may join and think that that's going to be possible for them without knowing that when they join, they're going to see that in order to attempt to even try and get that lifestyle that upline is presenting on social media, that they are going to have to cold message people, post constantly, share their struggles to connect with people so that people join them. They're going to see that they're going to be spending all of their extra time and all of their time that they would normally spend relaxing, they're going to be spending on this MLM. They're going to realize that team calls happen sometimes 2 to 3 to 4 times a week at very inconvenient times. And then you're shamed if you don't hop on these calls. Like, they're going to realize all of that once they start to join and see the reality of what it is you have to do in this MLM that was not promoted on social media in the first place. And I think that's the problem. If people are quitting in their first week or month, it's because they realize, like, holy crap, this is what I actually have to do. Like, this isn't what I was promoted. So they're promoted this false reality of what the MLM is so that when they join, they think that it's going to be sunshine and rainbows because that's what uplines promote on social media. But then they join and they see what it is that you actually have to do, that you're not just selling a product, you're 99% of the time having to recruit people, that you actually can't make a livable wage without recruiting a crap ton of people. Like, all of those things, along with the constant cold messaging and the constant time on your phone, answering freaking group chat messages and being on team calls, and like all of the things that you're having to do is not what was promoted to them in the first place. So they then leave because they're like, yeah, this was not what I was promoted to. So that's my theory on why a lot of people do leave within that first month or that first week. But again, I would love to see like an in-depth study on this, or if there is a study on this, let me know, because I haven't seen it, like a study showcasing people leaving their MLM, how long they stayed in, but also what was the reasoning why they left. I'd be curious to see some research on that. She also talked about how an MLM isn't hard, or it is not as hard as people make it out to be. And she said what's hard is getting out of your comfort zone. So I will agree with the concept that sending a freaking Instagram DM isn't hard. Like, I can send a DM while I'm sitting here. That's not technically hard when it comes to an MLM. I think that everything that goes into the MLM is what makes it hard. That is what makes it completely draining, like soul sucking. And I mean, it also does suck your wallet dry, but I feel like the constant need to push products, the constant need to recruit, the constant need to replace people like a freaking hamster wheel of recruitment, the constant need of being on team calls and hopping on calls or responding to group chats that you have to attend or else you're shamed for it. The constant need to spend money on things like active fees and business fees and PV amounts and downline volume amounts, etc. Also, the constant need to be on freaking social media 24/7, the constant need to share your struggles on social media, the constant manipulation tactics that are used, the constant gaslighting that is used in MLMs, the constant love bombing, and I could literally go on and on with things that happen in MLMs that are mentally draining. That's the hard part about MLMs. Is sending a freaking DM hard? No, that's not hard. But what's actually hard is everything else that goes into it and how freaking mentally, physically, and financially draining that MLM is going to be. So that's what I thought about that video. Now let's move on to the next one. I have just one quick thing to say about this because I have done many videos on the account No Shame Sales Game. You guys know that I've done 2 videos on that account, kind of like calling that account out. And I am going to blur her face because I don't think have I showed her face? I don't remember. I normally just refer to this person as No Shame Sales Game. I know that No Shame Sales Game constantly promotes that she does direct sales differently, right? And she has this direct sales like group that you can join. It is a membership. It costs $365 for a year. So she actually has 3,155 members in this group. And if we do the math on that, 3,155 and we times that by 365, that is over $1 million that she is making off of this group. So with all of that, she is trying to teach people the better way to do network marketing. And she's always talking about the fact that you do not cold message, like, ew, that's icky, you don't do this, don't do that. Like, that's what she says she's trying to do, is change network marketing. I don't believe that she's doing that, but that's just my personal opinion. When looking into her posts, I feel like they are very misleading. But I seen this Instagram story of hers and I thought it was interesting what she says. So let's listen to it.
I'm literally sitting on Zoom, right, with people in DS, and we're having a power hour, and we are crafting our ideal clients based on a training from Allie Reeves. And then the next half, we're going to be like taking action and finding people and reaching out to them. And everyone like in the chats is like helping each other, asking questions. Like these are women from all different companies. Like it's so fucking rad.
That was it. Like that was all I wanted to react to. So what I find interesting about this is that she says that she's changing direct sales. She says that cold messaging is a no-go and that it shouldn't be done. But here she's talking about the DSGC or however, whatever she calls her membership. Those people are all on a Zoom call doing a power hour. And what MLMs say power hours are is a power hour is an hour where uplines will hop on calls. I've been on many of these where uplines will hop on calls and you will do certain tasks during that call to grow your business. And she's training people how to reach out, cold message, and find people on social media, which is already what people are doing and already something that is a huge problem with MLMs. But on one end, she says cold messaging is a no-go. And on the other end, she's teaching people in this course that you're supposed to do that. And she's teaching people how to specifically find and reach out to people on social media. So that's the thing is, even though she's saying that she's trying to change network marketing, she's doing the same stuff that other people have already been doing. The other icky things that people have been talking about happening in MLMs for a very long time. We already know that people will always have to seek people out. We know that in MLMs, you have to cold message, especially if you have a very small social media following, you just don't have people to sell to. So this is a tactic that will forever be used. So when people are saying that they're changing direct sales, in my opinion, I don't believe it. I don't feel like there's a true way to change a business model that is already inherently wrong. So I found it interesting that she sells this group and she sells this like membership thing, and she pretty much teaches them what's already happening in MLMs, like what everyone is already doing. So I love to know what you guys think about that one, because if you have watched my series on the No Shame Sales Game page, that could be a tongue twister, then I feel like you would be very interested in what she just said, especially after I have reacted to her the way I have recently. So let me know what you think if you've watched those videos. I'll also link part 1 and part 2 of the No Shame Sales Game videos if you do want to catch those. Now let's look at this video. So this video is an MLM rep, which I think everyone already knows this person, but still going to blur her because I blur everybody most of the time, 99% of the time. But most of us already know who this person is. So someone on TikTok asked her, or stated in her comment section, they said, someone with a degree in data and statistics, what is the actual median income of an MLM? Sure, you might make decent money, but not everybody is you. And that person has a point. That person has a degree in data and statistics and is asking a question like, hey, what is the median income someone in MLMs earn? Or in your MLM, what do they earn? Because you may make good money, but the average person isn't making that amount of money. And that is a good point to bring up. That is a valid point for someone to bring up and ask. Now, this individual has blocked me on TikTok. I didn't even know how they found me on TikTok, if I'm being honest. I don't really go on TikTok. I have a TikTok, but I don't really use it much. I made a couple of videos on it, but like it's been a year since I made a video and I could not find this one. So I tried to find this video and I couldn't find it to see what this person was commenting on. So unfortunately, I don't have that. So I would have been curious what this individual said in her prior TikTok that made this person comment this. So let's just see what this person has to say to answer this question that she was asked.
Girl, what is your point? Did you need a degree in data and statistics to know that you stumbled upon #1 in the entire world in network marketing? Of course, I'm not like anybody else. That's why I get to teach and train the entire profession on how to make money. You should follow me. Sounds like something you might need.
So instead of this person answering her question, she blew past answering the actual question of the median income people in MLMs earn and instead insulted her in order to build herself up. She instead said, well, I'm the #1 network marketer ever, and I'm not like anybody else. That's exactly why I teach network marketers what to do. And it definitely seems like you need my training and probably need my help because it doesn't seem like you're doing that. So this is what happens a lot in MLMs. Instead of answering the question that somebody is asking you, you instead don't answer it. You blow past that and you make a personal attack or insult that individual in order to build yourself up. It is exactly why I have seen people say, oh, well, you're just a hater. You're a woman hater. You're this and that. Like they go to personal insults. I have had people insult the way I look or the way I talk or things like that in order to not answer the question and just insult me because it's the only thing they can do. They don't want to actually answer the question. They want to instead insult you because they have nothing better to say in an answer. So I found that interesting because if this person is as high as she makes it seem she is, which I've seen proof that she isn't the number one network marketer ever, but if she is as high as she says she is, why not just answer the question? Why insult this person? And then you're pretty much teaching your team that this is how they should be reacting to people. So I feel like that's pretty much all we have today. I do have a lot more, but this video I feel like is getting very, very long. So I will see you guys in the next MLM Fails. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in the next video. Oh, never mind. I actually have to talk a little bit. We're not making or not working. Okay, motherfucker, rewind. As the friend of the rep helped her soul, it didn't work for them, and they're called, oh, you're just a giver upper. That's what I was about to say. You're a giver upper.